How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to, I believe we're on episode 14 of Authortubers React. We have some great guest hosts with us tonight, and Barrett, our regular co-host, is here. Charliee is going to be dropping into the chat a little bit later to say hi, and Zara, fingers crossed, will be here later. So, summertime. Also, don't forget, next month we are taking off, so we won't have a live one, but we will be posting some episodes, and I know I will be hanging out in the chat to talk about. Barrett will be hanging out in the chat. We'll talk about all of the things. So let us say hi to people in the chat while we let everybody on screen introduce themselves clockwise around, starting with Gwynna.
Hi, friends. I'm Gwynna at Gwynna the Winner. Apologize for my voice today. I did lose it a little bit because I'm a little sick, but I'm happy to be here. Especially happy to be in all this drama today and all the tea. You can find my YouTube channel and my Instagram down below. Please support me on Ko-fi or my Read My Vella, which is also linked below. Have a good time.
Yay. Hello, friends. I'm Desiree. You can find me over at Coffee Reading Writing on YouTube. I post weekly videos on the writing journey and creative living and mental health. I also have a Ko-fi. It's under Desiree M. Ortega. And Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, I stream live writing sprints right by the moon. So hopefully I can see you guys there.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tiffany, TLRS Lifestyle, and apparently I brought the drama, so hey. I don't know what I did, but okay. I have a podcast called This Great Life. You can come check that out, as well as I do live streams on Thursdays on my channel. PJs and Scribbles. This month is S'mores and Scribbles. We're having fun over there. And you can come check out my Ko-fi. Where I have some of my writing, including my book club that is hype because we are publishing our Kindle Vella on Tuesday.
It's exciting.
I'm JC, author JC Carpenter. I have a YouTube channel where I post video writing vlogs, masterclass video reviews, editing vlogs, and I'm also the self-published author of 2 books, The Diary Succession of Lies and The Art of Love Poetry Collection. I have an online blog. That wasn't how I was supposed to say that. I have a blog, an online magazine, online store, and a Ko-fi page, and I stream on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I also stream with these wonderful, lovely people throughout the week. And okay, I'm frazzled. Barrett, to you. Yeah, you.
Hi, my name is Barrett Laurie. On my channel, I talk about my journey through traditional publishing. I write stories about ordinary queer kids living extraordinary lives. I host Critique Group Live every second Thursday of the month. We are running a writing competition right now and got some amazing entries. And so we are announcing the winners at the August episode. And I don't have the date in front of me, but I'll find it before the outro. And I also am 1/4 of Authortubers React. Hello, hi, here I am. And with the lovely JC Carpenter on Wednesdays and Tiffany on Thursdays for PJs and S'mores and then Scribbles. And whenever I can hop in hers. And eventually in the future with a brand new streamer, Desiree. Welcome to the club.
Yay!
Here we go.
All right, and you're on my channel. I'm Nia the Vixen of Fiction here on YouTube, and I host Writing Sprints. Night Write is back on Tuesday nights at 7. I'm a mom of 4, a Loki mom. I'm writing all kinds of things, having a good time, getting to know all of the people in our writing community. It's been great. And I'm ready to get started. How has everyone's Camp Nano gone? We have less than a week, or right at a week left. How's everybody doing? I want to start, make sure do a quick check-in. Everybody doing all right?
I will need to play a little bit of catch-up tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Are any of us officially doing Camp Nano?
Huh?
I'm official.
Any of us officially doing
on the website.
I'm getting my badges. Yeah.
Yeah, them badges, everyday badge especially. I want that badge for every single day. I actually think I'm going to hit my goal, probably because I set it very low. But I would like to go past my goal as much as I can. So I'm doing pretty good.
Yay.
Yeah.
I started strong and then I plateaued and we're struggling a little right now. So let's see. I'm really relying on that 10K day that we're gonna do.
Yes.
So yeah, next starting Friday with Gwynna, we're going to do a 10K in 24 hours. So we're calling it the 24 to 10K.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm gonna get a 10K, but for me it's an any K because I know I'm gonna hit my monthly goal, and any words I get is more than what I had before. That is my motto.
Yes.
But if I can do a 10K, hey, I'm not gonna frown at that.
Mhm.
So
It would be interesting to see if the first 10K I actually get is with you guys. That would be as magical as I think y'all.
or if we completely derail you.
Yeah. 100.
No,
Either
y'all motivate me too much for that. I don't think that's possible.
I feel like if we're doing 10K in 24 hours, somebody should do the 75-minute sprint for Richard.
Oh my
I could do that.
Oh, okay. I'll let Gwynna take that one now. Look, I think we only need one. So
We only need one. We'll end it on the 75-minute sprint. How about that's the last sprint?
That's brutal.
Yep.
After 24 hours, they're going to be like, all right, everybody, now focus for 7
Focus for 70.
Because
I
I'll be
feel like
taking a 64-minute nap.
you
That's what I was gonna say. I
whole
feel
entire
like I was
time.
gonna turn that into a nap sprint.
It
won't be me
a nap to
because I
finish it
can't
off. There you
nap
go.
Oh man.
Oh, Regina said dog show, and I want to see the picture.
Oh, yay!
Puppers.
Maybe it wasn't Richard who wanted the. No, it was Devin that always wants the 75-minute
Oh,
sprint.
Devin wants
Yeah.
Richard's like, wait a second.
I was like,
I don't know why I thought I heard you say Devin.
It was Devin, my bad. I said the wrong person, Richard. I'm sorry.
Yay! Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
Richard's
fun.
always no sprints. I remember now.
Yeah. World Animal is so much fun. I hope you're having a good time and getting some things done on that cherry panda.
Nice.
Richard's like,
no, none of that.
I think Richard's the one that why are we printing? Let's just chat.
For now, Richard, it's unconstitutional. For now, let's give it time.
Also learned that matters. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, well, I love that idea.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I am.
There we go.
Connected with you on Instagram, Regina.
Oh.
Right.
I can get 75 seconds.
Okay,
sprint.
really?
Oh, seconds. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
I
I was
feel
like, really?
That would be like, I have a cousin who says every time she goes to the gas station and she sees somebody who bought $10 worth of gas, she's like, where are you going? To the next gas pump? Like a 75-second sprint would be the same equivalent. Like we're just opening up our file so we can go to the actual sprint.
Just hop on.
Could make it a 75-minute sprint total, but like every 20 minutes or so, like pause the timer, check in, see how everybody's doing, give them a little bit of a break, and then continue the timer. So
But isn't that what we do?
That's a normal
That's a normal.
I was trying to make a compromise for those who are feeling daunted by the
What would
75
happen is
minutes.
we would pause the timer and be like, how's everybody doing? And somebody would say something. Someone would mention food. We'd all start talking. It would be an additional
Okay, well, I
20
tried.
minutes. And then eventually get back to the timer.
I tried.
Back my previous statement, I always say something backstage is going on just to get the chat going. I blamed it on Tiffany, but it's by far JC made the most scandalous statement. We'll break up a 75-minute sprint, and people are like, no, that is not a 75-minute sprint. That is 25-minute sprints with a 10-minute sprint and a 5-minute sprint. That's what that is.
With the usual break in between.
I was just trying to compromise.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
Now, if
Totally
when
a regular
we
writing sprint
possibly
then.
do it, there's somebody who sprints and they specifically do what is like 20 minutes and then they set a 5-minute timer And it's not like they talk. They
Dana.
just set a 5-minute
There's a
timer.
few people that do that. It's the Pomodoro
Yeah.
sprint.
I used to do those,
Pomodoro.
but
Yeah.
I used to do it with 15
But most of the
minutes
people that I
and
see
20
do
minutes.
it, they talk during the 5 minutes. Like this person doesn't
Yeah.
talk during the 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah,
Oh.
so they're just like, you're on your own.
5 minutes, and then they get up and kind of
Richard.
stretch and move around and stuff like that. And then when they come back, it's like the 20 minutes, and then they keep right. Actually, I don't think I've ever even heard them talk on the sprint.
Well, I'm just like, why are you sprinting then? Like, do you
Yeah.
even like what's the point of being live? Like, just
They're
I'm
just
not
here
live
for
when they, like,
you.
don't talk. Right?
Yeah.
People on it.
They're not here to talk to you. They're
just
just here
like-
for you.
There.
Well, never mind. We'll pretend I said nothing. Compromise for those
It's a
who
great
felt
compromise.
daunted.
No, I didn't bring my drama. I like this.
Scandal.
I mean, 'cause me personally, when Kate Kavanaugh does those long sprints, I break them up anyway myself. I'm like, okay,
So
yeah, I'm
do I.
gonna do this, and I'm gonna go do that. So I just, throwing it
oh,
out.
I like a good
4
45
minutes
minute
sprint.
sprint.
I'm gonna go
Not
to
gonna lie.
Deerberg's. I'm gonna go to the bakery. I'm gonna come back.
Give
And
me
then we'll
some chocolate to snack on.
exactly. Then it'll be chat time again.
Exactly.
I like a
Alright.
good 45-minute sprint.
That's
Me
doable.
too.
That's doable. I
too.
can do 45. But come on, when we get to an hour, that's when my butt starts going numb.
Yeah.
Like extremities. Like that's when it's just like, nope, we've gone too long.
We'll
I'm
have
good
to do
enough
like
no matter
stretching
what.
exercises
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah. That's
Ooh.
what Tiffany and I will be doing dance party.
Oh yes.
The moves.
All right. Are you guys ready to get into a hot topic? Because we have authors behaving badly again.
Why is it Richard
So-
and why is he canceled? I said, why is it Richard and why is he canceled?
Oh no.
Because Richard is Richard. No.
Uh,
We actually, as writers, one of our favorite topics that we often talk about is how we would kill off our characters. We really tell our FBI agent that's watching our interwebs that it's for our writing.
It's not
But
right.
sometimes there will be an author out there who will do the bad thing. And we've got one, and we're just like, why? If you're going to write a book and title it How to Murder Your Husband, maybe don't do the bad thing.
Mhm.
Right.
That's a good idea.
So, Nancy Brophy, author Nancy Brophy of the book called How to Kill Your Husband, did the thing.
It's called it something else.
Killed her husband.
Maybe this title is something different.
Yeah,
Tiffany, that's it. I just needed a different title.
Kill your husband.
It's
but
obvious if you don't slap
Title.
that title on your book. Like,
Never would
You know,
have
like
read
maybe title it like The Wife Who Got... No, that wouldn't work either. I was like, The Wife Who Got Away with It.
what is a title that would work when you
How?
because I think she's still saying she didn't do it, but she has been convicted and has gotten 11 years.
so apparently, a jury of her peers thought she did.
But yeah, so we can't say that she's been convicted of doing the bad.
Richard,
I know.
the wife with the knife. Wait, but was it with the knife?
But she killed him with a gun.
When the title
Oh,
is a
yeah.
spoiler.
Which she actually claimed was one of the worst ways in her essay to do it because it was too
She was
messy.
trying to
Stop.
she was trying to throw everyone off.
But like, it's just there's so much to unpack. Like,
Mm.
I don't know that the title's the problem, Tiffany. I feel like it's the concept. I think
Well, no, the murder was the
The
problem.
murder is definitely the
The
problem.
murder was not the problem.
I'm just giving her the benefit of
The
the doubt.
conviction is the problem.
You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are always days when you're married.
Because she's innocent.
where you just think to yourself, how could I kill you?
Richard is killing me.
And so I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
No, wait till you get
No, the other comment.
I'm waiting. I'm going because I'm killing me.
Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi,
Alright.
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah,
But honestly,
kill
though,
a
like,
lot,
good
too.
for her.
Unless he was a perfectly fine
I was
person.
about to say, I just want to know what kind of husband he was before I say good for her. What's he playing?
Desiree has some deets.
Supposedly, first they were a loving couple. He worked at a culinary school or something.
How it always starts.
But they both took out insurance, life insurance on each other. So that is the claim that apparently that's what she wanted.
So she
But they were a loving. They had a loving marriage apparently.
In the essay, she said a gun is not how I would do it, right? So
like, needs to throw everybody off.
So was that her defense? I didn't kill him because I said I would never kill him with a gun, and he was killed with a gun.
Her defense was that she was in a loving relationship, that they had no expectations of anything ever going wrong. But I mean, also, she's 73 and it's 11 years. Man, that's a good life to spend the last 11 years of your life with 3 full meals. Like a
Social Security isn't always guaranteed, kids.
And you know what? She paid off all her debt with that life insurance policy. So good for her.
Does she still get it? If she's convicted of his murder?
I don't think so. But this was a long time ago, so I think she's already got that money and enjoyed it.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
That may have paid for her book to be published.
That's this
where she writes that she would never do it with a gun to throw everybody off.
Oh, and I think there was something about when they were asking about her alibi, because they did catch her on camera going to the school where he was murdered. And she claims that she has no recollection of what she was doing there, but that most likely she was getting research for her books. That's what she
Well, that's how she knew shooting was messy.
Was a bad idea.
Yeah. But you see, here's the thing: like
maybe her alter ego did it.
She was researching how to get a gun kit and how to remove fingerprints online, and she said it was for an upcoming book of hers.
Yes, that's what it was.
I fully support this. Mostly just because I mean, think about how often we look up stuff that's just random and crazy, and we claim it's for book research, and generally it is. But like, to use that as your defense,
you're making all of us look bad right now.
I know. Now we're all going to be under suspicion.
You know the things I have looked up strictly for research purposes.
Mm-hmm.
For my book.
Like undetectable poisons. I've looked up undetectable.
Yeah, I feel like mine are like, what's a griffin? You know, like how do dragons look like. Like I don't feel
like middle grade.
You never looked up how to barbecue someone?
That's
just me.
I know, right, Tiff?
Really, no.
How to barbecue someone?
Not
like what does human meat taste like? You guys have never Googled that?
Okay, I've never Googled what
No,
hold up, wait.
I will.
There's
no handle lectures in this building, but
I mean, I've Googled different aspects of murdering someone, but not quite barbecuing.
This is too much fun.
Yeah.
What's the line, Gwynna? Nobody, no crime.
Nobody, no crime.
So let's figure out how we can get the body.
Not we.
Just
the characters in our books.
Yeah,
I need to get away with
it. Nia's like specified.
We are definitely.
I'm trying to keep everybody out of jail.
Brown was literally just looking up undetectable poisons. So see, you know, I'm like, so if someone in my life gets poisoned, it wasn't me.
Right?
It was research for my book.
I mean, what if she really was innocent, though? Like, she's like, really? I was really.
In Tiff's words, you mean innocent like OJ?
No, but no, imagine she actually is, though. That would be kind of crazy.
And it was the research for her book that got her, falsely convicted. What if?
Well, hold on. The question,
do it backwards. Do the crime first, and then write the book and title it "If I Did It" with a bloody footprint, and you're gold.
Before they charged her with the murder, had they had another suspect in mind?
No, she's
The only one possible, but they didn't. There was a homeless man that was in the area that they looked into for a second, but that it wasn't. There wasn't any issue with him.
Yeah,
So
I mean, not to give her the benefit of, not to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I do question when they don't have when they're not looking for other suspects, because it's always when a spouse gets murdered, they always look for the spouse. Like they always look to the spouse as the first, like, oh, Briley.
Right. This panel's the Goodbye Earl generation. I love that.
They always
I'm just going to say the second comment out of everyone's mouth was like, well, what's the husband like? And I'm like, that.
But I feel like the murders that happen where they don't look for other suspects, I'm like,
they must have, but she didn't. She lied about where. She lied about not going to the school, and they have camera footage of her going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's because she didn't want to look.
Okay, but like also, she was like 10 years older than her spouse, right? So if she didn't off him, he would have gotten her life insurance.
Right. And what if her having an affair? What if there's a mistress we don't know about?
What if it was a bad relationship?
He was younger than her. So what if there was a, I'm just saying.
I don't know why she did it.
I stand by Johnny Cochran. If the title isn't legit, then you must acquit.
It was the glove, but that was
glove that did not fit.
I
have not thought of Johnny Cochran in a minute.
Oh man.
Did he survive?
Tiffany is sure that it was the title that got it.
That was it. That was it.
Yes. She should have gone with
the title of the essay
title.
is what did it.
Oh, he died a while ago, y'all. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah. Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like with Nia. Wait. Okay, so just to get benefit of the doubt here, he's younger than her. I didn't know that. So there could have been mistress. We could. I mean, did the police even look for other suspects? Did they even look for other suspects? And no, we can't count the homeless man.
I'm telling you, it's the title. If she'd have had a different title, she wouldn't have been the police's first choice.
Well, that's not necessarily true because the police always.
I'm really trying to think of a new title for her.
The title of the book, period. That's where it begins. That's where it ends.
It's a little unfair, by the way.
My husband. I did not. My husband. Don't look here.
No, I'm more thinking like, I don't know.
Yes, Richard.
The gun that shot itself.
The gun that shot itself.
Oh wow.
Okay, do you guys know that scene in the movie, the musical? God, what is it? Where they're all singing about how they murdered their partners?
Oh,
Chicago.
No,
yes, from Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
The Jailhouse Tango.
Jailhouse Tango. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She could have named it Jailhouse Tango.
The cops would have never known to look that up,
right?
I'm telling you.
There was a
now, hold on, but wait a minute. But doesn't that kind of give
in the library? There you go.
Doesn't that kind of give credence to the fact that maybe she didn't do it? Because I mean, wouldn't she be smart enough not to be so obvious?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if she did that to throw everybody off? Because she's like, well, obviously,
again,
and what if the real killer set her up?
If I'd have done it, this is how I would have done it.
The real killer set her up to look like she did it.
Okay, but like he had it coming.
Yes,
he had it coming. He had it coming all along. There you go.
I think that
I didn't do it, but if I done it,
no, 6 seconds.
No more singing. Yeah, careful.
It was a murder, but not a crime. There you go.
Not Disney,
There's the title.
Why not care?
Which is also from that song. It was a murder, but not a crime. There you go.
There we are.
I do think Tracy is workshopping a new story to get this woman in prison, and I love it.
I'm just
I so am.
I'm not workshopping, but now that I'm thinking about it,
what if the neighbor that lived across the street that was jealous of her petunias came across the street?
Sorry, so I've never heard of someone setting up someone else for a crime.
Yeah.
Come on.
See, she should have wrote. She should have wrote. The mistress killed him.
Yes, right?
The mistress shot your husband.
That should have been
That would have destroyed her whole.
But
That would have destroyed her whole. We were happily in love defense. So she
Well, to her, I mean, you didn't know that.
Doing writing research.
No, but if you know your husband has a mistress, you're not happy.
But she doesn't know her husband. She's doing this all for writing research. This is writing story.
Fiction.
The story was it was a fake book, remember?
Yeah, the story was fiction.
Look, I would just
Supposedly.
like to know my next Bella will be, she didn't mean to do it, but she did write it down.
I love it.
It'll be available later.
She accidentally did it. She's real sorry. By T.L. Russ.
There you
She
go.
could have titled it "A Woman Scorned" and just got that dot, left it at that. Like, I don't know.
It's in the title.
Oh,
Let that be a lesson to you guys. What was that titling workshop at the AWC? Get the title right.
Yep, the title.
Don't have the FBI on your back.
How to Murder Your Husband is not the right title. It's just gonna get you caught every time.
It should be, oops, he just dropped dead. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Maybe she thought that with a television show called "How to Get Away with Murder," she was good. She was safe.
Sarah made it. You always look lovely, Zara, but today you look.
Oh, I dressed up because I went to my cousin's baby shower, but because I'm having a major surgery in 3 weeks, I was there, said hi, and then I left because my mom was like, "You need to go," and I'm like, "Do I?" But okay.
Yes,
I made my appearance.
You did your duty. Yay. And well, we're glad that you were able to make it. As you can tell, we've been having a little bit of fun with the writer who was convicted. She was convicted, so we don't necessarily have to say allegedly, but 11 years for murdering her husband after she wrote, and then wrote an essay that's called "How to Murder Your Husband," where she said if she was going to murder somebody, she wouldn't use a gun, but he was killed with a gun, which I feel like she wrote that to throw the cops off. But Tiffany says it was the title that got her caught.
It was the title.
I feel like the title is what's going to get you, is what's going to make the cops look at you. And if they're looking at you and you're guilty, then I'm like, you're kind of already screwed. You're not a criminal mastermind if you named your book something super, super obvious.
Richard.
Oh, gosh.
The ultimate in write what you know.
Well, didn't she write it and then do it? So it's more like
Right.
imitating fiction, not...
I still say allegedly.
Well, because she says she didn't do it. She's still
She
claiming
I don't know. I feel like most of the time, okay, here's the thing. I come from a family of lawyers. I trust them. I don't trust the legal system. That said, I still feel like most of the time, people who are convicted are guilty. I do, whenever race is involved, I'm always a little bit more like, is it though? Like, there's biases happening. But with this, I'm like, no, it feels pretty legit.
But see, okay, what made me say that was Nia was it Nia who said that he was 10 years younger than her. So I'm like, oh, what if he had a mistress? And what if the mistress killed him? Because I'm just saying,
Basically,
I know, but I
JC
also
is
feel like that
drafting
gives her more motive
appeal.
to be like,
Is what's
oh, if
happening.
he had a
don't get me wrong.
mistress,
I totally think she did it. I'm just saying
devil's
there's
advocate.
a slight chance that maybe she's actually innocent. I mean, because we writers research stuff all the time. It don't mean we go out doing it. And so her defense was she was researching for, what she wrote. And I'm just like, well, what if that's true? And I mean, I feel like it's unfair because the spouse is always looked at. And Is that a fair assessment that the police make?
It's because
I mean, the majority of the
But
they're
I
often
feel
the
like if you
culprits.
know the
That's why
spouse is
they're looked
always
at.
looked at, all the more reason not to write a book called If
I
I
mean,
Killed
well,
My
yeah.
Husband.
Again, I didn't
Again, we're
say I
back to
actually
that doggone
believe she's
title.
innocent. I believe she's about as
I
innocent
just think
as
whether or
OJ.
not I feel like whether or not she's guilty, it's really stupid to write a book like that
Absolutely.
because it's just gonna get that much more scrutiny on you.
Yep,
Because,
Jennifer.
like we
Yes.
said, we all know that the spouse is always looked at.
Yes.
So why would you write that book and then just make it worse for yourself if you are innocent?
I
Yeah.
feel like she did the actual research for it and then realized, oh no, I've done the research for this murder that I'm going to do. So now I'm going to blame it on a book because that's what writers do. So that's what I'm feeling like. She was trying to cover too much. She's doing too much to cover up.
Sherry Panda, I fully agree that should have been the title.
Right.
I was just writing a book.
I have an Amazon public Amazon wish list that I share every so often whenever these conversations come up in live streams. And I called it "We're Writers, Not Criminals," and it's like, you know, forensics for writers or police procedural for writers, and it's all these things. And it's like, I mean, I know that I'm just doing it for books. I hope no one uses my wish list and the books on that list to do other stuff.
Possibly. But that's the thing. I feel like she has now set the bar for the excuse that it's just for researching our books just went out the window. Because
Yeah,
they're like,
for all of us.
yeah, because now it's like,
For all of us, were any of you planning on doing that?
Right. That would be my question. I was like, how many more people do you see actually killing somebody?
Right.
You know, like
But let's just say someone. But let's just say someone you know ends up dead. Are the police going to look to you because you've been researching how to kill someone? Like,
Yeah, and then your excuse
Are
is
you
they're
really
also
researching how to
writers,
kill
and they'll be
someone,
like,
not on an
"Look,
incognito
it's
account?
I mean, I
mean, the
okay,
thing is, though,
I don't know
is
the
that
incognito site to look at. So to look on,
I mean,
I just use Google.
I just know
we'll
that
talk
if
about it
anyone
after
is
in
looking
the
at me
backstage.
because they
Okay.
think that I'm suspicious, I don't have a motive to hurt anyone. So it's like,
So says
you can
everyone.
look at
But
me.
when you have a spouse, that is a motive.
what?
Right.
When you have a spouse,
No
that
one
is a
knows what
motive.
goes on in a marriage.
It just takes
That
one day of them
assumes
not
that I'm
doing the
gonna get
dishes.
married. And that also
Weird.
assumes that I'm going to be the one who's not making the other sign a prenup, but my family's absolutely going to make my partner sign a prenup. So if anything, if I get murdered, my spouse has a very good motive.
Yeah,
Oh,
but the life insurance, man.
yeah, that's what it was. The life insurance that they both took out on each other.
Not on each other. So it's not like I can see if she took it out on him and he didn't take one out on her, then that would highly make her more suspect.
Mhm.
But they took it out on each other. So does that really? I just find it
The whole thing is
shady. I just find it shady that the police never looked at anyone else. I'm not saying that I believe she's innocent, but I always get a little questionable when the police don't look anywhere else.
They
I'm
must
like-
have. We don't know the full details of the
I'm like-
investigation.
Yeah.
But how many investigations do we see that convictions get overturned because the police never looked anywhere else?
This is true.
So I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this happened a long time ago. So I feel like for them to it's not like they rushed to judgment and just like jumped on her and
It's
was like,
73.
oh,
She's
I can't
already
remember
there.
what
Maybe she thought the
podcast my
statute
mom
of
listens
limitations was
to,
over.
but it's like
That's
about
never over on murder.
both cases, and they're like 20 years old or something. And it's like we kept running into dead ends, and we, you know, while we were running into a dead end on like this person that we really thought was the prime suspect, we looked at other people, but like those kept falling by the wayside. So like that could have happened.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it could have.
There are so
Well, she
many things that
probably
could have
lived a good
happened,
life.
but like we're never gonna know.
Yep.
yeah.
The good life, and she's in her 70s. She'd be all right.
Yeah. And she's
Prayer
eligible
of the
for
day.
parole, so, you know, good for her.
Yeah, Gwynna looks at it as a retirement plan. So.
It's not a retirement plan.
She's fine.
It's all right.
Well, there's
Right.
anyone, Mr.
All
FBI
right.
agent, you should be paying attention to. No.
All right. Let's talk about moving away from writers who behave badly, have you guys heard about the thing that's been going on for a while? But some book talkers were calling it a life hack.
Oh my gosh.
I got so angry.
Listen, it may not be illegal, but it is immoral.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. That's a sentence.
You know, like, it's not illegal, but it is immoral. Like, you don't pay to go to an art exhibit, look at all the art, consume all the art, contemplate how it impacts your life, and then ask for a refund for your visit to the art exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, regardless of whether or not you enjoyed the art, you paid for the experience of going in and seeing that art. And it's like, why are books the only kind of digital content you can return for a refund? Why? Why is art the one thing?
And it takes so long to, you know what I mean? Where people, there have been not memes really, but where it's like, this is how long it takes to make a coffee at a Starbucks, and this is how much it costs. It could take someone years to make a book that costs less, and you know, and it just makes me so mad when people, first of all, don't want to pay an author for their work, but then when you're paying for it and then reading it super fast, fine, I've done that. But then returning it, I've never done that, because that's rude as hell.
Yeah.
Once you at 25% in, if you don't know that you don't like it, they really need to cap it.
Yeah,
because I understand you don't really know what you're getting into. Something could be on the book jacket and you think it's one thing, you start reading and it's something else. But there comes a point where you're like, you know what it is, and you're going to continue and consume the entire thing. You can hate read it and then give a rant review after if it was that bad. But once you consume the entire thing, and we know that's not why they're not doing it. They're not returning it because they didn't like it. They're consuming it. They're saying, so you could read all these books and then just return it and you save all your money.
Yeah.
That's actually what's happening.
It's so
taking money away from the artist.
That's rarely going to happen. That's going to be a rarity. And at some point, you're going to be like, I'm DNFing this. You know?
Yeah, I've DNF'd books. I would never think to return them.
Ever.
You bought them, you purchased them, done.
It may not be a good investment, but you did the thing.
Yeah.
If I DNF the book, I still bought the book.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just not going to recommend it to my friends.
Exactly.
That was very true.
See, I disagree with it, and I'll tell you why. Because two things. One, to blame it on the rhetoric is a little, I mean, I know what he's trying to do, and he's trying to just get a reaction. I'm going to give him one. I think it's nonsense because it's BookTok. So those people do know that those are authors, indie authors, a lot of times writing those books. They do know that. This is not some random people. These are BookTokers who are reviewing those books. So completely disagree with you on that. But what I think is true in that is I do think there is an attitude about devaluing the art. And that is a problem. And I think it started with Amazon. And I think there is a lot of devaluing books and literature overall as art through Amazon. That is part of the problem. And I would actually say it's the kind of capitalistic thing that needs some guardrails that would keep something like that from happening.
But so, also, we know that Amazon is tracking.
I disagree with you, but I was going to knock him down before he got too proud of himself that we were agreeing with him.
we already know that Amazon tracks where people are reading. Like, they do it in KU all the time. Just apply that to everything. So, I don't have Kindle Unlimited. I read fast enough and enough books that I could, but that's really inconsistent for me, so it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But let's say I got 15% into a book and I ain't like it. Personally, I would never think to return it. But if someone else got that far and wanted to return it, then okay, Amazon should say, if you're this far into a book, and we'll know how far you are because you can easily update it to Goodreads, which they bought. So they, even if you're not in KU, they're clearly able to track where you are. just cap it at like, hey, you've reached a certain part. You can't.
Yeah, you can no longer return this.
Yeah.
You know, and make it known. Be like, our return policy on our digital books or audiobooks too, is that once you hit this point, you can't return it anymore. So, you know, if you're hating this book and you're at 20%, you're either going to keep reading and DNF and do your review, or you're going to return it before you get to X point.
Well, can I just ask, so what's wrong with the library? If you live in the United States, what's wrong with the library? And number two, if that's just too much for you, then like, are you reviewing the book or doing anything at the end that would give any kind of positive impact for the author? Because if not, then you're just a scammer to me.
But also, reviewers get free copies.
That's the thing.
know, and-
Didn't they get
and
a back alley? Yeah, exactly.
But again, aren't most indie books like almost barely over $6? Like, just don't buy Starbucks and get over it.
A lot of them are only like $2.99.
Yeah.
Some
I don't
these
see
people are
where
not
you're
making any. They're making
looking
like
at, I mean, even if it's $2.99 and you're buying like 20 books, you're still not out like a ton of money. Like, just let it be.
But if they're buying the books, a lot of times they just want to say, look at my massive book haul. They know they're not going to give all these books. They're buying them to do the book haul. Or if they're doing audio books or ebooks, they want to read them so that they can say, I read all of these things and do reviews and, you know, put out their videos and things. But then they want their money back because maybe they couldn't afford, or they just didn't want to buy them. Really, they just wanted them for whatever. But yeah,
and then get it from the library if you don't want to be paying for it.
Exactly. You might have to wait for it.
Like
you might have to wait for it.
Of the cover right here.
There are even apps like Libby where you can connect your phone through your local library and borrow
the
books.
library. Yeah,
Like-
I'm not saying just a physical book for the
Yeah,
library.
and
Like
sometimes-
anything connected to a library.
And sometimes you'll have to wait. And guess what? If the wait is the problem, pony up the $6 and buy the book.
Yeah.
Solved
Because
it.
you want to put your video out so you can make money off your video. But then you
Again,
want
Yeah, if you're trying to monetize
Right.
the video.
So you're going to monetize your video off of someone else's work that you can't be bothered to pay them for?
Shady.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you know, because there was one person, I'm not going to call him out. You can go, if you go on Twitter, you'll see who they are, but they were defending this. Like, if I don't like something, I should be able to return it regardless of how much, if I read it, because them the whole thing. I'm like, this
No.
not
No, there's a limit.
No.
Do not go into a movie and sit down and watch a movie, and then at the end of the movie, get up and go
So I
out.
want my money.
I'd like my money back. They
Right.
go,
Even if I'm, like,
I was thinking like I order pizza.
if I'm 15 minutes into a movie and I leave the theater, but I'm still in the physical theater, and I'm like, no theater, whatever, be like, yeah, here's your money back.
It's ridiculous.
If anything, they would ask you to watch a movie. They'd be like, give you a different movie. But
I was at a movie one time and there was a tornado warning that hit, and they had to close the whole theater, and they still didn't give us our money back. They gave us a coupon for a new movie.
That sounds so much like what a movie
I
is.
can relate to that.
Like, they were like, and here's a voucher for next time. Thanks
But
for
that's
coming.
okay though. But that's okay because at least you'll be able to come back for another movie on them.
Right.
But
At least you got a little something.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, it was a full-on tornado. Like, they should have at least kept us in the building. No, they were like, okay, we have to lock the
He was
doors.
defending this. You can't do that.
That's fine. Get home safe.
I put Lisa Kessler in, but that she's the one who initially wrote the tweet that was like, you're robbing us. If you do this, you're robbing us.
I did
So
see that, yeah.
If you look on there, you will find the couple of people who were trying to defend this. But she laid it out, and then BuzzFeed picked it up, and some other places picked it up and are like, yeah, why is
it's
this
not
still-
defensible.
What I think
It's
sucks
harmful
about it-
to writers.
what I think sucks most is the popularity it got for people seeing it like hey, this is a life hack. That's the shitty part. Because before that, most people wouldn't have known that you could even do. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could
do
do
that
that.
until I watched this. So I think that's what's crafty, is I feel like it just
Yeah.
amplified it, and now a bunch of crappy people will be like, "Oh, I've got a cool, workaround." So I do hope they fix it.
I mean, I've returned a digital book, but in all fairness, it was like 5 minutes after I clicked it because I didn't mean to click it.
Yeah.
But see, that's
Yeah,
I
different.
didn't open it or anything. I was like, oh no.
Right.
Like, I
That's
think
different.
that's fine. But yeah, like if you've started reading it, whether you like it or not, again, $5-6, maybe don't go out to lunch.
Yeah. And I do know one person who did return a book for a book club, but they said they genuinely tried to read it and they DNF'd it way early on, and they got their credit back and used it towards the purchase of another book that they knew that they were going. But they were trying to read it for a book club. They were not trying to rip the very wealthy person who I believe is no longer alive anyway. The estate is not going to, you know what I mean? The estate's not going to lose any sweat over this credit. So I'm like, that's fine. That's why I'm like, yeah, give people that frame. And say, this is how far you can get. Once you know you don't like this, that's it.
But like once in a blue moon, exactly.
Yeah, that rarely ever
This
happens.
is
And I
like
think they
a life hack to
this
the
is not
fact that they're calling it a life hack to just completely buy and sell, then give back and take back. No, that's horrible. That's
This.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why remember when we were kids, I mean, let's go way back to when we had VHS, but remember there was a whole section before the movie started of like, FBI $250,000 fine if you copy this and reproduce it and play it. It's kind of, it gives me that same vibe. Like there needs to be some sort of a page at the front of the ebooks now that's like, if you do this, we come for you. We mess up your credit. I don't know. Pick something that someone will be afraid of and do that.
Yeah,
Although,
but one of the defenses was that, well, it's not really one of the defenses was that it was not really costing authors because,
but it does.
It does. They're like, well, it's just they're not paying them, so that means if they already took their money, they might have to owe that money back. But it's not like it was
transaction.
Like, I'm like, that's money that they earned, and now they have to return because
transaction
you consumed their art. And then didn't want to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, art and entertainment. I mean, the whole concept of once you consume it, the idea of asking for a return is preposterous.
Well, and this is why I wish there was some sort of a better way for authors to work together and negotiate with Amazon collectively to get something like, okay, Amazon, if you're going to take books and return them after someone's read the whole thing, then you eat the cost of the book and don't make the author return those funds.
Yes.
That's another option. But again, we would need some sort of collective bargaining option to be able to.
Do you think Jeff Bezos would actually care?
Listen, unions and Amazon are a whole other rant.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't have time for that, and that's not the theme today. But I am ready for that discussion. We want to have it.
But I will say that's what happens when bookstores return traditional published books.
Yes.
A lot of the times it's cheaper for a big house to just like destroy the books, which like really upsets me. But at least they recycle that material and stuff. But they eat the cost. They have to calculate the assumption that that's going to happen. Yep. But indie authors don't know to do that, nor should they have to, because this is so bad.
But, but that's part of the problem, right? And here's the thing, and this is where it gets into the murky parts. The reason indie publishing is so amazing is it gives voices to everybody has an option. Everybody has a path, and that's amazing. The downside to it has been things, little nuances like this, where the slight difference between the two, if Bezos and Amazon aren't going to step up and fill that void the same way it would happen for a bookseller, then that should not land completely and solely on the author. It's just wrong. That should go into their multi-billion-dollar profits they don't pay taxes on.
Hey, say it again for the people in the bag.
And the other thing is with indie authors, when indie authors have to want to put their books in bookstores, they go in with the understanding that the bookstores are going to return all the books back to them that don't sell. But this is an understanding going in And they have the books. It's not like someone bought, people were reading the books and then telling the indie author, here's your book back, give me my money.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the same thing.
No.
You're just buying your stuff in bulk to disperse it, and then you can then take it and disperse it other places. Once somebody buys your ebook or whatever and then returns it, there's nothing you can do. There's no recourse for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. Cherry Panda 452. The smaller the artist, the less respect people give them.
Yep.
True.
Really.
And see, writing is hard work. That's just so disrespectful.
And there's also a feeling, and I feel like I've fallen prey to it a few times before I got serious about writing and met other indie authors. There's also a feeling, I think, of if they're not like some super successful thing, that it's a hobby, right? And so it's not like a career, or it's not something they're using to build an income off of, or even an income stream. And I think we got to shift that too, or that way of thinking for people, away from it's not just a hobby, right? Because you wouldn't say that about any other kind of art that someone would create. So we should minimize it just because the industry pays us nothing. You know.
Absolutely. Oops. Some authors against
I'm sure people would love to, but it costs so much to
Mm-hmm.
do any litigation, and then Amazon's not going to care.
And
they can drop anything.
Exactly, they can afford.
And they make enough money to keep that fight in court for.
Which is the trade-off, right? It's the deal with the devil that you make, and there are going to be sides to it that are not always the best for the author, even though the royalties are higher and stuff. It's an unfair system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Amazon, they really could put a percentage cap on their audiobooks and on their digital books. Oh, they were having a conversation about the millennials.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Leave my avocado toast alone.
Oh, that part too.
And then not change anything.
I don't see them settling though, but I don't see Amazon settling for anything.
But it could be like, what was it? I was watching something one time and they were talking about corrupt medical, like pharmaceutical companies. And they were saying sometimes they know that there's a certain percentage of people who are going to have adverse reactions to their medications or even die. And they're like, they pretty much bilk it in because they're like, how much am I going to make on that versus how much I'd have to pay off if I settle?
Yeah.
Right.
So it could be the same conversation.
It's like airlines not going through their safety standards and updating their planes, right? They lose less money paying for a plane to fall out of the sky with 400 people on it than they would if they had to update all their planes. So they're willing to pay for the deaths of people if it means they don't have to update their security systems.
My cousin specializes in whistleblower cases, and he's gone after like big pharma multiple times. And he's like, "Yep, they calculate this into their budget." And I'm like, "That's disgusting."
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I mean, and it's possible that they do too. So if someone does sue, they'll be like, "Look, we'll give you $50,000 and you sign an NDA, and we'll call it a day." And they're like, even if 10% of the writers do this, we're still making bank. So
are they doing it traditionally published books too? Because if they piss off Penguin Random House,
No.
I guarantee you they're not.
Yeah,
I just guarantee it's not happening for.
yeah.
There's just no way.
Because that's the only case where I could see maybe they do
return.
something. Yeah.
Like those are the ones that are $9 or $12 for the ebook. Like if you're gonna make money back, those would be the ones to do it. Not that I'm advocating or suggesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if you're gonna do this scam, there's a more lucrative way for you to do the scam.
Right.
But you shouldn't be doing the scam.
Yeah.
We're not giving you an additional life hack here.
You should not be trying to rip off authors who have worked hard to write their books.
Right. Let's just not do this thing. This is not a life hack. You're ripping people off. Period.
Yeah, what Deidre said at 5:57.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They've come out with a statement saying that they already have policies in place to protect their authors.
Mm-hmm.
That was literally their statement on this. They just don't care.
Which authors? Because maybe there's a certain set of authors that they are protecting.
They're going to protect the authors that make the most money.
Yeah,
exactly.
They have
I was trying to say that without saying it.
No, I just said it for you.
Yeah. Well, I think that we've heard of some cases where, things have gone kind of screwy on the indie author part. And when it's a small person that really nobody knows, they have a lot harder time doing things like getting their accounts back and things like that when things go off the rails. But when it's someone who's very popular and then they can get a lot of people writing in and advocating for them, things happen much quicker to get resolved.
Well, Amazon doesn't care. Like,
Richard.
they're punished first, ask questions later, or they just don't care. Because Sarah Sutton had a video where her KDP account had been suspended because they said your book doesn't belong in this category. Her book wasn't ever in that category.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's been resolved. I'm too.
I don't think it has.
I think it has.
That it still hasn't been resolved.
I thought
I saw a video where she said that she got everything straight.
Yeah,
she said that. Okay, because I'm 2 vlogs behind.
I think she said that there was still some issues or something like that where she still, I think her account's back, but it was still some issue.
She doesn't know why it went
wrong. Like she can't figure out where it happened, and so she doesn't know if it'll happen again.
Right. Yeah, that's what I had seen, but I'm 2 vlogs behind, so maybe she's given another update on it. But it's like Amazon doesn't care. If someone reports something, they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just take it down." And then the person, because I've seen other authors on Twitter being like, "My account disappeared because blank," and clearly someone must have wrongly reported my book as having bad content in it or something. Mm-hmm. And it's just shoot first, ask questions later. Normally, don't even ask the question because they don't care.
No.
Has Amazon just gotten so big that there can never be any repercussions for them?
About 15 years ago.
Years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because
it was a sarcastic question. It wasn't I know.
Because I think part of the problem is who's really competing with them. Where else are people going to go that has?
But who else has the money to compete with them?
Right. So, that's where they're at this point. They're like, we can.
Other than the other douchebag billionaire guy who,
they
who
both
was about to go to court with Twitter. I'm like, Twitter, please don't fight this. Can you just let it go? Let it go. You got off. No one really wanted him to own Twitter anyway, so just let it go.
Yeah, no one wanted him to own Twitter. He would have allowed a bunch of troll things to come back by rolling back. No.
I have theories about what that person does anyway.
Listen, guys, I'm not saying this is the overarching lesson here, but it is just something to marinate on. Eat the rich, and this wouldn't be a problem.
It doesn't even have to be eat the rich. Just tax the rich.
I'm sorry.
Or we barbecue them.
Like Tiff suggested.
Or we barbecue.
I'm write a book.
Hypothetically, my writer friends.
To answer JC's question, they have been a monopoly since the early 2000s, or mid 2000s for sure.
Oh, it wasn't a serious question. I was being facetious. I'm sorry.
I'm just adding to your point. The biggest opportunity in the world was traditional publishing, not buying up Amazon in the late 90s. That was a huge missed opportunity. They thought they were just distribution and they were just going to be helpful to their businesses, and they totally missed where that was headed.
And now they're screwed because Amazon doesn't give them numbers.
Exactly.
That's something I learned in my publishing program. I thought, well, the publishers have to know what they're selling on Amazon. No.
Yeah. Not that I want to ever tote any big giant corporation, but Sears is literally been wiped out. Sears was the OG. Of what Amazon is now. They had catalogs, and they would send out catalogs when Black people weren't even allowed to go shopping in super centers. Sears would get sent out catalogs to make sure that anyone who wanted to get what they wanted to get could purchase the things. And I'm like, did they not see, like, they totally missed the boat on this when this whole, because Sears could have done what Amazon does and been like same day, because Sears had a mall in every city, or had a store in every city. They could have been
Amazon
what
does.
Amazon, and I think
if they had
Walmart
innovated
is catching on, because I'm
Sears
Walmart
will be
is
publishing
like,
books.
could
But I
definitely
think the
go the
point-
way of Sears if they don't get on the ball.
They'll
I
survive.
think Mia's point
Yeah,
is,
I'm sure they will.
if Sears had have innovated into digital when digital first came out, because they already had the infrastructure to understand
They had the warehouses, they had the stores.
Amazon does. Like, they were the OG Amazon. So they had the infrastructure to do it. Now, maybe they would have had to hire somebody or buy out a book company in order to bring in the book aspect of what Amazon does.
All online. Just put the book online.
But they did have the infrastructure to
and they had
start.
stores everywhere, so they could have
beat out Amazon.
They could have jumped into like the Amazon.
I don't know if that's true.
So much faster.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, most people I know went to Sears for either car stuff or like house repair stuff. Most people did not really care about now Montgomery Ward was a different thing, but most people didn't really care about Sears. And I went to Sears.
It could have been the area, because St. Louis, let me tell you,
here in the South,
they love them some Sears.
Well, maybe
Sears shoes, Sears furniture.
Well, maybe it's different in the South. Because
we're gonna get way into the weeds, but really quickly, let me use that business degree I never use. So here's what happened to Sears, just so we're clear, because I saw someone talk about capitalism and like innovate or die. What happened to Sears was private equity. So Sears had some amazing brands like Craftsman and some others that were worth billions and billions and billions of dollars. And private equity companies that were not regulated came in and bought up companies and devalued them by just piling debt onto them and taking money out of their workers' pension programs and enriching the people at the top, the C-suite executives, because again, no regulations on the capitalism that ran amok. And so what ended up happening is Sears ended up collapsing under the weight of the debt that private equity left on it. So just to circle back to innovate or die, Sears was innovating. They just couldn't keep up with what private equity was piling on them. And there's a point where you're just under so much debt, you can't manage it, and they collapsed. But I think, JC, the thing to think about, what I think the point is Sears didn't have to be known for books. What they had to have was a distribution. Amazon was just a distribution. That was it. It was a distribution network. So anywhere where you had warehouses everywhere, that's all you needed, because you needed space to house stuff. And Sears would have had that in their stores because they already had that all across the country, and shipping to get it back. So that was the difference. I think that's what they're just trying to say is they could have shifted into that.
I guess I felt different because all I ever, like, when I first started paying attention to Amazon, the only focus for Amazon for me was the books. Like, all the other stuff they did, I didn't really care about.
Well, and that was their trick. Like, that was the trick of Amazon. That they originally, that's all they were, was books, because that was his way into distribution. That was the only open avenue he could find in the late 90s. And then the moment he had cornered books, he expanded to everything.
What did he call it? Like the world's biggest bookstore or something?
Yes.
It was like something like that.
Yes. And that was the back, because really who he was really trying to compete with was Walmart. That's who he was going after. He needed to find a way to be able to get into everyone's home with everything. And
are we going to talk about Walmart now too? Or
no, but that was his competitor. That was who he was really eyeing on the prize way back in the 90s.
And look at all of the collateral damage. Exactly. All the other stores are the collateral damage.
I used to joke with a friend a long time ago, before Amazon got as big as it was, that Amazon was going to try to take over the world. And I really was joking when I said it. I didn't think they were really going to try to take over the world. But when he bought Washington Post, I was like, oh, hell, really? Really?
Yeah. All right. We have about 25 more minutes. Do you guys want to 20 minutes? I'm looking at the time. Do you guys want to do something heavy? We could do imposter syndrome, or we could do would you rather discussion.
Capitalism isn't heavy enough.
I know.
No,
I'm
that's why I'm
crushed
like,
under
you
its
wanna lighten
depressive
it up?
weight every day.
Imposter syndrome. Oh, that's my vote. That's my vote.
JC likes the heavy stuff.
gonna say,
Imposter
JC,
syndrome.
like, 3.
I'm feeling a would you rather.
Ever.
I was thinking end this on a would
Okay.
you rather and then
Raise
do the
your
imposter
hand.
syndrome on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would do imposter syndrome on Twitch. All right, so we'll do because you're gonna stick around for
I
Twitch,
was just
so-
giving my vote.
No, you're fine. We'll get around.
No,
to it.
we were all voting. We weren't piling up on you.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's okay, JC. We will definitely talk about imposter syndrome because
I just feel like that can't be limited to 25 minutes when
Fair
there are
point.
7 people on
Yeah,
screen.
fair point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could go on for hours on that one topic.
Exactly.
Kelly and I went
Okay.
on for an hour on it on
Yeah.
our first podcast episode. So
right.
25 minutes.
Yes, I remember that episode. I remember that episode.
Yeah, very good. All right, would you rather write a few books that are mildly popular during your lifetime, write a book or books that a book that is unknown. Okay, my dyslexia is kicking in.
You want me to
Write a
read
book
it?
that is
Yeah.
unknown until after you are gone, and it becomes a cult classic and wildly popular.
That's a hard one because part of the reason I write books is to create generational income, right? So you would want to have something to leave to your family after you're gone, because I don't have that. And that's something that my family has never had, right? So to lift my family out of poverty, I would probably, like, my instinct is to go with the second one. But that being said, I crave instant gratification. And if someone doesn't tell me I'm doing a good job every day, I have a meltdown. So I'm gonna have to go with the first, but
You're
it's
doing a
close
good
call.
job in case no
I
one
was
is
just about to say,
You're amazing.
Gwynna.
you are
If no one
amazing.
told
We
you
love
today.
you.
I would vote the opposite. I don't really care about legacy. I would just rather if it's mildly popular now, that would make me happy. I mean, I write for me, and if it can make me money, awesome. But also, there's no guarantee in my head that I'm going to be having kids. And if I have kids, it's absolutely going to be through adoption. But it's like there are so many people in my family where I'm like, if I don't continue the family name, it's fine.
My vote would also be for the first one, not for that reason. I do actually believe the first one can create a legacy, because if you have a few books that are mildly popular during your lifetime, who's to say they won't grow even more popular once you're gone?
They're only popular during your lifetime.
No, but that's not how it's phrased. That's not how it's phrased. But if it's mildly popular during your lifetime, your kids can make it even more popular in your, when you're gone. Plus, if it's mildly popular in your lifetime, it allows you the benefit to also make more money to publish more books. The more you put out there, I feel like the more you put out there, it leaves more of a legacy for you. Yeah. So,
yeah, I'm with Zara.
One book.
I like the fact I write for me as well, and so I would want to be able to enjoy and have the satisfaction of seeing other people react to it and enjoy it as well and take it in. And so I would go with the first one.
Yeah, I'm going first one too, I think.
Yeah.
I'm B.
Thanks, Barrett.
I might be a B also. I don't know.
I have a weird feeling my books will be banned anyway for a little while. And so I have
A weird feeling?
A little while.
Look at what Esther said.
I have a sneaky suspicion. Yeah. I don't want children either. So I have a sneaky suspicion that the legacy thing will be my best bet anyway. And I think that sounds better anyway. I mean, I'd rather somebody 200 years from now be like, hey, look at that book. And I'm like, I don't know where I'll be, I guess, floating around haunting someone. I've got a list. I'm coming for you. You know who you are.
You have an Arya Stark list, but you're just going to hit it once you're already in the afterlife and you're ready to haunt people.
Exactly.
It's nothing that can send you to jail.
No. No,
Right.
no, after the fact.
Well,
But
I
if
mean,
I'm
it's
reading myself,
also,
then I'm about it. I'm about that.
But it also depends on
not
the
about
book.
having
my
kids,
question is-
though, right? Because intergenerational wealth is not just about the wealth you pass on to your kids, right? It's about uplifting your entire family unit, the people you care most, the community that surrounds you, out of poverty, right? So when it comes down to it, uplifting a community that cared about me and that nurtured me through next generations would ultimately, that would be an impact I find is greater than my own self-satisfaction.
Yeah, same. I fully intend when I die to give all the royalties from my queer books to homes of LGBT youth that hate Christian people that are mean to them. Like, I'm going to look for those charities just to spite them and like find them, be like, all the royalties go to those kids.
Yeah,
Right.
like I would do royalties to orphanages and things like
Yes.
that when I die, but I am lucky enough that my family is really okay that I don't have to worry about anything I do helping them. If anything, I'm more the burden on them, which I don't like, and I'm trying to move away from that because I'd like to be financially independent and not feel like dead weight, but it's not on me to do that. So to like, if I had that consideration, I think I would absolutely pick B, but because I don't.
What are y'all cracking up on?
I'm laughing at Josie and her little hand and then a hand and then
Instead of raising my whole hand, I was just raising a finger.
The little horns.
So, not that, I mean, obviously, if you chose the second option, it's not wrong. I'm curious to know, why is it
Like you're saying it is.
No, I'm not. I'm curious. I'm questioning, why do you think that having a few books that are mildly popular in your lifetime is not going to then create a generational wealth for the people that, go on after you? I'm just trying to think. I'm just inquiring, why don't you think it's possible that
might.
you?
Because of the death of the middle
What
list.
I would do with the money, because if it's only going to be popular during my lifetime, that means after my lifetime, it's not popular.
I think would you rather's are normally
Okay, but the
mutually exclusive.
So
That's how they're interpreted.
But it says write a few books that are mildly popular during your lifetime. What's the
You're
say?
interpreting the question the way you want to interpret it, and not the actual.
Right, no. I'm reading.
Because would you rather write a few books that are mildly popular during your lifetime, meaning they're only popular during your lifetime,
right?
Or write a book or books?
What I'm saying is the money that makes during your lifetime can then create a generation of wealth for the people that come after you. That money
in real world, JC, but in a mutually exclusive.
Why couldn't you have both?
Because it's a would you rather. So they're mutually exclusive options. But if the sentence had said, write a few books that are only mildly popular only during your lifetime, then it would be very clear that they are mutually exclusive. But all would you rathers are generally mutually exclusive.
Yeah, one or the other. And that's
curious.
In real life, obviously, I would want A that leads into B because that's the best.
Exactly.
I think technically, yes. If my mildly popular books could get me maybe $1 million, and then it depends on what I do with that $1 million for my family. Like, what am I doing with that $1 million for my family or for my community? Because mildly popular, I don't think that we're getting
I mean, in today's landscape, mildly popular means you're getting at most around 20 to 50,000.
I would still be so happy with that.
I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, I would be like, oh my God.
I'm going to get it.
Because in my mind, I'm taking that 50,000 that those mildly popular books and multiplying it with something else in my mind. But,
look, for me,
maybe I'm not reading the question.
Boiled it down. It comes down to if my paranormal books, I want them popular during my lifetime. If I write How I Killed the Man, make it a classic.
That's the Tiffany comment of the day.
You want a spicy legacy.
Exactly.
But you want to be able to enjoy
Just gonna go to her grave
your labor while you're alive if it's nothing controversial. You don't want anything that might send you to jail while you're alive.
Right.
This part. We're parsing the would you rather like a bunch of attorneys. I
was raised by a bunch of attorneys. If someone's like, "Oh, we're going into the nitty gritty," I'm like, "Well, going into it, the premise is always mutually exclusive in a would you rather."
Let me say this, JC, if you had not been an author, you'd have been a hell of a lawyer.
Yeah.
Really, I would have been a terrible lawyer.
No,
you're like, I'm following this by the letter of the law, so therefore this is not.
It didn't say only. And the rest of us are like, only is implied because it's not saying during your lifetime and beyond.
What made me pose that question was Esther's comment when she said, with mildly popular, hold on, wait a minute, no, back, where she said 611, where she said mildly popular is still decent income. If we manage that income, it can turn into generational wealth at the same time, so
which is
that's
true,
what made that question pop in my head. Like, well,
but it breaks the would you rather framework. So like, this is a reality.
Gotcha.
That's what you were saying.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if we go outside of the would you rather, I could be, I could decide to be a stripper from now until I'm 60 and take.
And now I have not played that much would you rather in my life.
Popular drinking game.
Well, I'll just say in my drinking days, we were not playing games. I was just drinking to numb pain. So
Fair.
Oh, Esther.
Yeah, now arguing. Now you want to make up?
Everything is posthumous. You're like, I got a blocked box. Here, I've been wearing this my whole life. Unlock it and publish it now, once I'm dead.
There you go.
Oh my
Cult
God.
classic.
I may actually have a stack of manuscripts that I could do that with. But anyway, we're not going to go there.
Is it if you killed the man?
If Eva was here, she would tell you exactly how many manuscripts I have stashed away. But
did you barbecue him?
No, never. I just haven't edited them yet.
No, not the manuscripts. The man.
The man.
Or what? Everybody's like, what happened to the dude? Hypothetically, in your book.
Right.
Secrets in the sauce.
Oh no, I would never. I wouldn't even think of barbecuing, Tiff. That's your alley.
Oh, you smoked it. I like a good smoked meat too.
We're not all Hannibal Lecter.
More tender.
For the human body, it should take between 8 to 10 hours to get appropriately tender.
How do I get it in my electric smoker?
Okay, whoa, that's deep.
It's so small.
And for the record, I'm not eating the smoked meats. I'm just, maybe feeding them to the animals out in the backyard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your animals deserve the best.
Mazel.
Oh yeah, I did express one. You did.
I was worried that if you did that, and then if suspicion fell on you, they could cut open the animal to find the DNA of the.
Yeah, the poor animal.
So, like, the animal would suffer.
Yeah.
If you're already going to commit murder, don't make an innocent animal your collateral damage and you're hiding.
I don't mean like the actual rabbits and stuff in my backyard.
Nobody
or something like way out the way.
Okay. I don't even know where that idea came from.
I've seen
Feed
a lot
it
of
to the pigs is all I'm saying. Nobody, no crime.
The specimens, they collect all the worms and the bugs and things, the flies.
Next time Tiffany comes over, I'll be like, Briley, stay close. Auntie Tiffany.
Briley's not running away.
So no one can feed her anything suspicious. And if anyone comes for me, I will fight back. And then if you accidentally die in my self-defense, I have an army of lawyers who are willing to protect me because you came at me first.
Don't worry about Briley.
Yeah. Secrets in the sauce. One of my
Ask yourself more, what was in those pork chops? No.
Yes.
I read a fan fiction recently where someone went all Hannibal Lecter and fed someone else. without them knowing, and I was like, no, can't. I'm gonna take a little break from meat for a bit now.
That is legit in the plot in the plot of Fried Green Tomatoes. That actually is how they get rid of someone in the book. Like it's secret in the sauce. That's in the Yes. Also an LGBT forward book. So read it. Don't just watch the movie.
Oh boy. Okay.
Are they the ones getting murdered?
No, the lesbian lovers end up murdering someone who is coming for one of them, and a guy. I'm not going to tell you this because it's very important to the story. But
okay, no. I just wanted to make sure that when you're like, oh, it's an LGBTQ focus thing, I'm like,
it's a
is it they're in it and then they get offed, or is it like
no?
They're in
it in a good way. The good way.
Yes,
the way we like.
They have agency and keep their lives.
Yes.
At least for
and keep their lives is the key.
At least for like a significant part of the story. It's not like
no.
They don't die.
That's this. We're like,
they
look,
don't die.
Look, you have your diverse character. Didn't promise that we'd keep them around for long.
Yeah. So they keep their life is gonna probably be my go-to question whenever someone says that they have diverse and marginalized people. I'll be like, do they keep their lives in the book?
At what point of the book do they die?
It depends, Deidre. I've known a few different Jasons.
Which one?
And just like that, we circled right back around to being the good Earl generation or the goodbye Earl generation.
Right?
I've known.
Would you rather turn dark really quickly? Turn things dark.
It's
a talent.
Oh, yes. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I don't think you'll regret it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Regina agrees.
Yeah, another would you rather that we can like completely destroy?
Yeah.
Not one that we can do in like 6 minutes. We only have like 6 minutes. That way I can give you guys a 30-minute break before Twitch. I mean, we always do this, and then we run the Twitch one late because
that's true. We talk.
Let's cut it here, guys. We will be back for the next episode. If you want to join us on Twitch, let me see if I can find my link to my Twitch channel.
That'd be
great. Oh, thank you, Zara. What we'll do then is we'll say thank you guys for hanging out with us for this episode. We'll go ahead and do some outros. There's the Twitch. You can go click on that and give us 30 minutes to get our drinks, refresher, do all the stuff. And we'll be back and we'll talk some more. We've got more authors behaving badly. We've got more Would You Rather. And for JC, we will talk about imposter syndrome.
Just not like it's already on the list.
Nobody else needs to contribute.
It is on the list.
All right, so let's start from the bottom, then we'll swing up JC all the way back around to Zara and me. Barrett, give us an outro.
Hi, everybody. My name is Barrett Laurie. I host Critique Group Live on my channel every second Thursday of the month. We are running a writing competition right now, so our next episode will be announcing the winners of that. I am so excited for that. Natalie Locke and Chandra Arthur are helping me judge the flash fiction, and Lauren Adele is helping us judge the poetry. So show up for that to find out who won. It's going to be a lot of fun. So glad to be here with Authortubers React. You can find me with JC on Wednesdays and Tiffany on Thursdays and Gwynna on sometimes Fridays. I'm with Zara tomorrow morning. I'm in lots of places. So love you all. See you at Twitch late because I have to go pick Ricky up.
I'm author JC Carpenter. I have a YouTube channel. I do writing blogs, masterclass review videos, editing blogs. I have 2 books. I have a blog. I have an online magazine and a Ko-fi page. Also an online store. And I stream on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. And yeah, Tiffany, oh gosh, never mind. Take it away.
Hi all, I'm Tiffany. I have a podcast, This Great Life. I have YouTube streams called PJs and Scribbles. Tomorrow I will be reading the first episode of my Kindle Vella that is going live on Tuesday right here on YouTube at 3 p.m. So come join, and there might be a bit of a surprise and a little bit of a giveaway idea. So tune in.
Nice. Hello, friends. I'm Desiree, known as the Coffee Life here in the community. You can find me over on YouTube at Coffee Reading Writing. I post weekly videos on Wednesday about my writing journey, creative living, and mental health. And I'm on Ko-fi as well under Desiree M. Ortega. And I also started streaming Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully I will see you guys there.
Hi, friends. I'm Gwynna at Gwynna the Winner. You can find me here and on Instagram. I am doing live streams Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for Camp Nano. And starting in August, you will see more actual content coming to my channel. Look forward to diving more into this community. All yours, Zara.
Hi, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy, and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. I am a Ko-fi ambassador, which is like Patreon, but better because they don't eat your donations in fees. So if you have any questions about that, you can come to any one of my streams. I stream Tuesdays and Fridays on Twitch in the morning and Sundays at 9 a.m. Eastern. Barrett will be on my channel tomorrow. I did not memorize the lineup for tomorrow though, so I can't remember if anyone else on the screen is joining me.
I am.
You probably are. Yeah. I am the founder of a new publishing company called Inimitable Books, which is dedicated to uplifting marginalized voices without pigeonholing authors into writing about their trauma. And that diversity is not just race, it's also ethnicity, religion, your ability, your LGBTQIA identity, whether it's sexual orientation and or gender identity. You don't have to out yourself in your query letter for what makes you diverse. It's on honor system, also mental health. And so it's kind of everything. It's to give people voices who have not had one in traditional publishing as it already is. I'm also the co-creator, co-host, and editor of the Writish podcast, where we talk about all things writing. Our first episode was basically all about imposter syndrome, and then we talk about other things that are more fun.
And you are here on my channel. I'm Nia, the Victim of Fiction. Thank you guys for coming. You can join me on Tuesday nights for 7 p.m. Eastern for writing sprints. I do a book club, scripting the book. At the end of this month, we are going to be doing Emma and Clueless. So if you want to come hang out and chat with us about that, we will do that. And I also co-host a writer's wrap-up at the end of the month, where writers have come together and we support each other. We talk about how we did during the month and what we have coming up. So if you have something coming up and you want to just shout it out and let everybody know, we are more than happy to do that with you and to celebrate everything that you're doing and to support you if you're struggling. We're here for that too. So you can join me anytime. Check out my channel if it's your first time here. Like and subscribe to everybody who's on here, and in the chat, make a friend. Subscribe to some new people. We got a great community over here. So thank you guys. We are all going to now see you over on Twitch. The link is in the chat, so you can go on over. The link for my Twitch is also in the description. So go hang out with us, and yeah, we're gonna talk about all kinds of things. So we will see you. Wait, I gotta get that one gone really quick. I have to take it off, otherwise it hangs out and it's weird. All right.